It was supposed to be a concert, lights, hits, and nostalgia. But by the time 50 Cent hit that stage, Houston wasn't cheering. It was plotting. Because somewhere in that crowd, J. Prince's camp had already decided this night wasn't about music, it was about message. Within minutes, the arena went from celebration to survival mode. You could feel the tension thick enough to cut with a platinum chain. Security tripled. Fans whispered. And just as 50 yelled, "Go shorty, it's your birthday," somebody yelled back and all hell broke loose. Phones were flying. Bottles were flying. And so were rumors. J. Prince's boys are here. Somebody crew just swung first. The crowd scattered like extras in a fast and furious scene. By the end of the night, the police were inside. Fans were outside. And 50 Cent was furious, shouting, "This ain't a show. This is war." And he wasn't wrong. Because what went down that night didn't just shake the stage, it shook the whole culture. Forget tour drama. Forget rap beefs. This was power, pride, and payback colliding in real time. Welcome to the night 50 Cent's show turned into pure, unfiltered chaos. Let's rewind the chaos back to where it all began. Houston, Texas, the city of legends, loyalty, and unspoken rules. You don't just walk into H-Town thinking you're bigger than the system. You show respect. But 50 Cent, he's never been the play it safe type. He came in loud, confident, and cocky because that's who he's always been. This was the final lap tour, 50's victory lap through hip-hop history. Every show before this one had been electric, smooth, and nostalgic. Fans were reliving the golden era. G-Unit merch dusted off. Old-school bulletproof vests coming out the closet. The crowd chanting every bar from Many Men like it was church hymns for the streets. But Houston was different. It wasn't just another stop, it was enemy territory. For weeks before the show, whispers were spreading across social media. 50 shouldn't perform here. He disrespected J. Prince's name. The Princes don't forget. The internet brushed it off as rumor. But insiders knew in Houston, J. Prince doesn't need to threaten you. His silence is the warning. Now, if you're new to the game, understand this. J. Prince isn't just a music mogul. He's the architect of Southern respect. The man who built Rap-A-Lot Records, molded legends like Scarface, and put Houston on the map before Astroworld was even a thought. His name holds weight in every corner of hip-hop, and if you ever get on his bad side, you don't just get a diss track. You get consequences. 50 Cent had been poking that bear for months. It started subtle jokes about J. Prince's family handling situations through Instagram instead of the streets. It was vintage 50 sarcastic, fearless, and trolling like his career depended on it. He even made a joke about needing security clearance to perform in Texas. Fans laughed. Houston did in single quotes T.so. When the tour schedule dropped and Houston, Texas appeared on the flyer, the comment section went wild. He's brave. He's stupid. He's both. Still, the show sold out in hours. Because when danger meets celebrity, people don't run, they buy tickets. The night finally came. The air was thick, the energy was tense, and even the security looked nervous. 50 arrived backstage grinning, glass of champagne in hand, wearing a chain that could pay off your mortgage. Everything was business as usual until whispers started creeping through the crew. J. Prince JRB and his people are in the building. Now, J. Prince JRB isn't just a shadow of his father, he's a force of his own. Known for rolling deep, never smiling, and having more connections than a Wi-Fi router. When people heard he'd entered the venue, even the promoters started sweating. You could feel the shift like the air just dropped 10 degrees. 50 went on anyway. That's his brand, fearless to the point of recklessness. The lights dimmed, the beat dropped, and boom, the arena erupted. Go shorty, it's your birthday. Fans were losing their minds, phones in the air, energy unmatched. For a moment, it felt like peace. Then, chaos walked in wearing black. Witnesses say several men later identified as part of the Prince entourage moved toward the stage from the side entrance. Not rushing, not sneaking calmly, strategically, like they own the place. Security immediately stepped in, blocking the path. That's when words got exchanged. No one heard exactly what was said, but whatever it was, it flipped the switch from tension to violence. A bottle flew. Then a mic. Then a full-on brawl erupted. Fans screamed and scattered. Some thought it was part of the show until they saw punches flying and security dragging bodies off stage. 50 froze mid-performance, eyes wide, disbelief on his face. One fan said, "You could tell he knew it was deeper than a random fight." In the chaos, someone allegedly yelled, "This Houston, not Queens." That one line would later echo across social media like a war cry. It was a reminder 50 wasn't on his turf anymore. Within seconds, cops flooded the venue. The lights cut off. The music stopped. And 50 was rushed off stage by his team, furious. One source claimed he was shouting, "Who let them in?" Another swore they heard him yell, "They came to start something." The footage was everywhere within minutes. Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube lit up like fireworks. The clips showed smoke, yelling, and flashes of fists. One video caught 50 ducking near the stage. Another caught a man in a red hoodie throwing a punch and screaming, "Respect the South." The memes came faster than police reports. When many men becomes a prophecy, 50 Cent finally met someone who don't play for power they own. Houston just turned G-Unit into ICU-Nit. The internet was vicious, but beneath the comedy was confusion. Fans wanted answers. Who threw the first punch? Was this planned? And why did J Prince's name keep surfacing? By morning, bloggers had answers or at least theories. One Houston promoter claimed, "Prince's camp told us weeks ago this could happen. They didn't want 50 in their city after all that slick talk." Another source claimed it wasn't Prince himself, but his sons making sure the city stayed in check. Either way, the message was loud and clear. Houston doesn't forget disrespect, and while fans were trying to piece it together, J Prince C. Oster himself posted a single cold statement on Instagram. "Every man's words have a price. Speak carefully." No names, no tags. But everyone knew who it was for. Meanwhile, 50 responded in typical 50 fashion with a smile. He posted a photo of himself in the gym, captioned, "Still winning. Can't stop what's already written." Fans went wild. He trolling again. He don't care. But insiders say that behind the scenes, things weren't so calm. Promoters allegedly beefed up security for the rest of his tour. Private security firms got calls. And several sources claimed 50 canceled his afterparty in Houston due to unforeseen tensions. Translation, he wasn't about to risk round two. Then came the twist video surfaced of J Prince, JRB, leaving a nearby club the same night. Surrounded by at least 15 men, all dressed in black, all silent. No comment, no smiles, just presence. It looked less like a night out and more like an army on patrol. The caption on the viral clip said it best, "This wasn't random. This was respect enforcement." Celebrities jumped in with takes like they were courtroom witnesses. Boozy said, "You gotta respect Houston, man. That's J Prince City." Fat Joe posted, 50 too smart to let this slide. He gone flip this into money. And Meek Mill simply tweeted, "Every city got its king. Don't test them. And if you thought it ended, they're wrong." Because the next day, another bomb dropped. A leaked recording from a backstage security guard surfaced online. In it, you hear him whisper, "They said they was coming. We just didn't think they'd really show up like that." Boom. Confirmation that this wasn't an accident, this was orchestrated. Chaos. Houston police called it a disturbance. Fans called it a hip-hop ambush. And while the world argued over whose fault it was, J Prince's silence said everything. The man didn't have to speak, his legacy spoke for him. Houston knew who ran that city. And 50 just got a reminder. But this is 50 Cent. We're talking about the man who turned every beef into a brand, every diss into a dollar. You think he was gonna stay quiet? Not a chance. He jumped back on Instagram with a video of himself laughing. The caption, "I love Houston, but next time, bring flowers not fists." Fans lost it. This man got no fear. He trolling the princes from a safe distance. But what looked like jokes was really strategy. 50 knows how to weaponize humor. Every meme, every comment, every headline, it all feeds his machine. But here's the thing, Houston wasn't laughing. Local radio hosts discussed it like a civic issue. "This ain't just about a concert," one said. "It's about respect." You don't disrespect Houston Oggs and think it's sweet. Even Drake caught stray mentions because of his long-standing friendship with the Prince family. Fans spammed his comments. Tell your godfather to chill. Drizzy, call off the goons. Drake ignored its smart move. Meanwhile, whispers spread that 50's next Texas date might get cancelled altogether. Some promoters didn't want the liability. Others claimed unspoken phone calls were made advising him to skip the South for a while. And while that rumor simmered, another video leaked, this time showing 50 backstage after the chaos, visibly furious. They think this shit's funny? He shouted, "I'm not your rule. They better chill." Fans screamed online. The shade was nuclear, 50 comparing himself to his old rival just to remind everyone he's built different. The internet divided into teams. Team 50 said he survived the ultimate setup. Team Prince said he got what he deserved for running his mouth. And then there was Team Chaos, the people who just enjoyed watching the mess unfold like a Netflix documentary with no ending. By the time the dust settled, two truths emerged. J Prince's camp made their point. 50 Cent made his money, because while everyone was busy arguing, ticket sales for his next 3 shows skyrocketed. The controversy became the promotion. The man literally turned being ambushed into a marketing campaign. Only 50 could do that. Still, one question haunted everyone: would J Prince respond again? Or would this go from business to bloodline? Because if history's taught us anything, it's that when the princes feel disrespected, they don't respond on Instagram. They respond in influence. Insiders whispered that certain Houston promoters quietly stopped booking 50 for future events. It wasn't revenge, it was politics. You don't go against the Godfather's grain, yet through it all, 50 seemed untouchable, laughing, posting, promoting, acting like nothing happened. But make no mistake, that night changed the game. Because it reminded everyone in hip-hop that old-school street power still outranks social media clout. Houston showed 50 that dominance doesn't travel, it stays home. And in H-Town, the throne belongs to the princes. But knowing 50, he's probably already writing a movie script about it. Power, the Houston episode. Coming soon. The night may have ended, but the tension, that's permanent. Because once you play with power, you never perform the same again. The morning after the Houston meltdown felt like the hangover the whole culture shared. The footage had gone viral overnight, millions of views, reaction videos popping up by the minute, and everyone trying to decode who really won. But in reality, no one walked away clean. 50 Cent woke up trending in all caps, not because of his performance, but because the internet was calling it the night hip-hop went to war. The memes were ruthless. One fan posted, 50 said get rich or die tryin', and Houston said bet. Another wrote, J Prince runs Texas like the feds run surveillance. It was chaos layered in comedy, the perfect recipe for virality. But beneath the laughter, the situation was serious. Reports surfaced that insurance companies were reconsidering coverage for the rest of the final lap tour. Venues started quietly requesting additional security protocols. One promoter even said, "We'll need to clear every name on that guest list." Houston changed the rules. Meanwhile, Houston police released a short statement. An altercation occurred at a live performance involving multiple parties. No arrests at this time. Translation? Everyone was too rich, too connected, or too powerful to get cuffed. Behind the scenes, there were whispers that phone calls were made not by 50, not by promoters, but by people much higher up the industry ladder. One source said, the message was clear: no more heat. Too much money on the line, so everyone play nice publicly. But privately, the grudge stayed simmering, and let's not pretend 50 backed down. He doubled down like it was a business investment. A week later, he teased a documentary titled The Night I Almost Died in Houston. It wasn't real, but the internet believed it anyway. He posted clips of the chaos with captions like, "You can't kill the brand." It was savage, smart, and pure. 50 trolling his enemies while cashing in on the drama. J Prince Seoster didn't take the bait. Instead, he posted a single image, a chessboard. The caption read, "Kings don't argue with pawns." No names, no hashtags, but the message hit like a warning shot. The internet split instantly. 50 is the pawn. Nah, Princes playing defense. It became hip-hop's version of Game of Thrones. Every post, every emoji, every silence meant something. Meanwhile, people who were actually at the show were still recovering. Videos kept surfacing, new angles, new sounds, new theories. You could see 50 yelling, security sprinting, and a few faces that looked suspiciously familiar. The more fans analyzed it, the deeper the mystery got. It wasn't just a fight, it was choreography, calculated chaos. Even artists started chiming in. Boozy called it the most Houston thing ever. Rick Ross posted a laughing emoji. And Charleston White, of course, made 5 different videos claiming he predicted it months ago. The circus was in full swing, but the most shocking development came a week later when local reporters revealed that the venue had quietly canceled a future show featuring another East Coast rapper for safety reasons. That's when it hit everyone. This wasn't just a one-night drama. This was a warning. The balance between street credibility and superstardom had officially tipped again. Houston reminded the world that no matter how many hits you have, the streets still run on respect, not record sales. And through it all, 50 still smiled. Because whether he was the hero or the villain, he stayed the headline. His brand? Stronger than ever. The man literally turned being attacked into free promo. That's not luck, that's legend-level marketing. By the end of the week, 2 things were clear. J Prince's camp walked away with the respect. 50 walked away with the attention. And in the world of hip-hop, both are currencies that never lose value. The concert was supposed to be music. It became mythology. And the city of Houston? It reminded everyone why its name still carries weight that no Instagram post can compete with. The war didn't end that night, it just moved offline. And if history's any clue, this story isn't finished. It's just loading for the next chapter. And that, my friends, is how a concert turned into a cultural earthquake. One night, one city, one unstoppable collision between ego, power, and pride. 50 Cent came to perform. J Prince's camp came to remind him that some stages still belong to the streets. The result? A viral disaster so loud it's echoing through hip-hop history books already. From flying bottles to silent chess moves, this wasn't just a feud, it was a statement. Respect in this game isn't earned with streams. It's earned with silence, legacy, and who can walk into your city without flinching. So before the next meltdown hits your feed, do yourself a favor, smash that like button like it owes you a refund for the concert. Subscribe so you never miss the next disaster disguised as entertainment. And turn on notifications before another rap show turns into a boxing match with background music. Because in this culture, every beat hides a threat, every lyric hides a warning, and every "it's just business" hides a battlefield. This isn't the end of the story, it's just the intermission. Because in hip-hop, peace isn't permanent. It's just a silence before the next verse. Stay alert, stay entertained, and remember the streets never skip soundcheck.